Oh. Well, Jocelyn, you're still on mute, so I don't know if you're trying to answer or if you're trying to
Oh,
unmute yourself. But...
she said she's on the road.
Oh, she's typing. Okay, let's see. Oh, she's on the road. I want to listen and only, listen in mode. Okay. Well, so I guess what we were going to do is go through the agenda, and we're trying to record something for the folks who aren't on. And that way that anybody can catch up on all of the things, but I guess without having folks asking questions, like so right now it's only the coaches that are on, which is totally fine. So Joss, once you're home and you're able to ask some questions, get those out there so we can address them, but otherwise we'll kind of just go through the rest of the agenda. So the next topic on the agenda was the daily business activity check-in. So we like to refer to the business activity tracker as the BAT because everyone loves acronyms. Just to make sure everyone understands the importance of the business activity tracker. So we had posted a Google Sheet. I can't remember what day that went up. It was either Thursday or Friday. And I think that's the one I actually have pinned in the group. So that way people can access it right away. Let me just make sure which one's pinned. Yes. So there's a pinned post that's got the Google Doc on there. It's going to hang at the top of the feed no matter how many posts go into the group. So that way this one nobody has to go searching for. You can also save this document as a favorite on your laptop, even if you don't want to access it going through the group. But like the business activity tracker is, it houses all of these vital behaviors that Michelle talked about in her videos, like the personal development, the mental gym, being proof the product works. So doing your workout and your shakes, inviting people to the group, like that's your income producing activity, is the invites to your challenge group or to the coaching opportunity, posting with purpose on your social. So that way people can see, the social proof that you're doing on the front end of everything. The workouts and drinking the Shaco kind of happens behind the scenes, but on the scenes out front, we want that on social, and we want to be, to put your journey out there. And then connecting with people. So connecting with people is building that funnel and building trust in the people that you're talking with that would be a potential future invite. So there's a little bit more to that in the overall business activity tracker that Beachbody puts out, but we want to just track these 5 things so that way you're not overwhelmed, so that way you're taking action and you're getting initial momentum and initial success in your business. So that's why we've got this tracker out here. So we've got a spot for Jocelyn, Tiffany, Amanda, and Stacy for the 3 weeks of this group. So it starts today, and you can go in and backfill things, but and then we also created a day on the weekend to take a day off if needed. So you work this for however is best for you, update it how frequently you want to, but just know that the consistency, this will allow you to actually see that consistency that is going to determine like whether you're starting to get any momentum and traction with the business. So like if you're not filling out the tracker and you're like, well, this business isn't working for me, well, that makes sense because you're probably not doing the business activities. But if you're somebody who's filling this out every single day and you're like, dang, like, okay, the point, like the Success Club points and the sales, I hate using that word, but you know what I mean? Like people that are going to purchase Beachbody or join you in a challenge group or join you as a coach, it's directly aligned to the activities here. So it's telling the story of your results. So hope that makes sense. And Jocelyn, I totally know you're in sales. So I know you totally get this, but this is just Beachbody's version of that. So any questions? Jocelyn, you might have gotten home. Oh, there you are. Yay.
So far, so good.
What a seamless transition from the phone to the home setup.
Gotta love technology, right?
Yeah. Well, let's do some quick introductions now that we've got your face here. So I don't know if you've met everyone from our team. So we've got Michelle and Shannon. They're on my team, and Larry is my success partner. We're all on the same like big team under Janelle. Like, so Larry is like our sister coach. She's my success partner, and Michelle and Shannon are success partners. And we're all here to, you know, help all of you newbie coaches out to advance in your business. So, yeah.
Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Nice to meet.
Awesome. All right. So any questions on the business activity tracker? Did you get a chance to click in there yet? If not, no big deal, but it's all set up for you to go. You can fill it out however you want. And we do have prizes and recognition for people who are filling out the tracker and all that. So
I did take a look at it briefly, so
all right.
I know where to find it. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So what is next on the agenda? Let me see. Did I just lose my spot on?
I have it. What you can expect.
You want to
your
take it,
first
Larry?
month. No, I think this is what you were going to talk about with, from what you were learning with the stages.
Oh,
what you can
yeah,
expect
sure.
your first month as a coach.
Yeah, I can take that.
And yeah, so yeah, income-wise, focus and feelings.
All right. So let me pull up my cheat sheet here. CEO path. Okay. So I am part of a leadership mastermind with one of the top male Beachbody coaches of all time, which is really cool. His name's Keith Callahan, and he kind of broke out the 6 stages of network marketing and what you can expect in each stage. So if it's helpful, I'll actually upload that to our group so you can check it out. But since we only have so much time and there's 6 stages, we'll probably talk about stage 1 and stage 2. So where you're at now and what you can expect next. And then if you're curious, you can check out the rest of the stages to kind of, you know, what you can look forward to as you progress through each of the stages. But I think like when I learned this and when I was going through it, I'm like, oh my God, I totally understand the why behind this. This is kind of like when you understand how something works, it tells the story. So you're like, okay, I totally get it. But what he did was he created 6 stages of what we call the CEO path. And so the very first stage is you're an active new coach. And in this phase, you're really just focused on starting to take action. So your leadership focus is really leading yourself. You don't have a team yet. You're really just kind of relying on yourself to, you know, have some discipline to start doing some new things. And the income that you can expect is $0 to $100 a week on average, which is like a rough generality because it's different for everybody. But, you know, I know that for some, that might sound like a lot of money depending on your financial situation. Some, it might sound like, oh my God, that's nothing. But however you look at it, it's a start. And that's really what you can expect just in this initial phase. And there's plenty of room to grow when you get to those initial stages. But, you know, some people who are here and they're like, you know, I'm doing all this work, but I'm like making, you know, $25 a week. You know, is this going to be worth it? Yeah, if you stick with it. So just like to level set what you can expect income wise in the very beginning and know that if you do the things, especially in the business activity tracker consistently, that's going to grow. But initially, like you're not going to be making thousands of dollars. So, and the source of that income is really going to be sales here and there. You know, you're in the middle, like you're kind of in a hybrid state where you're learning and you're doing, and again, you don't have a team yet. So your income source is just going to be sales. Somebody buys Beachbody on demand randomly. Somebody, you know, you sell a challenge pack or total solution pack. Somebody buys a bag of Shakeology or just a tub of Energize. It's really just not consistent, whatever sales you can kind of get from talking to people, and it's all great. So it's not consistent, but it's still like huge wins because you're seeing that you're getting that momentum and you're learning how to use some of the tools to set people up and things like that. And then the mastery before moving on to the next stage is consistently showing up, doing the vital behaviors, hopping on these calls, and posting on social. It's literally everything that, completing that business activity tracker that we put out there in the Google Sheet, getting consistent there will move you to the next stage. And what you might be feeling right now is like excited to be a part of something new, but like clueless at the same time, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so it's totally normal. Most people go through the motions of like, oh my God, I'm just so excited. I have this amazing opportunity. I'm learning all this new stuff, but I feel kind of dumb. Like, don't want anyone to feel dumb, but it's just normal because you have to be patient with yourself. It takes time to learn things, and you're going to constantly be in a state of learning. And you're going to be actively consuming information over signing people up. This is one of the impediments that people have is like getting so involved in training because you might have that clueless feeling that you're like, I got to learn all these things before I do anything. And that's not that's like what we want you to avoid. And I know that we think that we need to know more before we take action, but this is really a do and then learn business. So it's completely opposite of what we're taught in school, that we learn first and then we go out there and then we do. So I think that's why some people have a harder time kind of understanding that, because it's so opposite of what we're taught. But talking to people doesn't require any training. It's natural to all of us is just to talk to people. And that's why you can believe in yourself that you can just take action, even if it's messy, and learn it. And like taking action is just the most important thing. And so I guess that's the impediment, just to know of, so you can stay ahead of it and avoid. So pump the brakes on too much focus on learning. Give yourself some time to learn some things. This training is a great example. We're going to put things out there for you in a breadcrumb kind of fashion every single day, typically, Monday through Friday, and then give you a chance to kind of get caught up on some things on the weekend. We really won't post too much on the weekends unless it's like motivational kind of stuff or question or answers that you guys have. But that's really stage one, is in a nutshell. It's really, the focus is taking action and just doing it messy. So I don't know. So Jocelyn, I don't know, like, what do you think about that? Not to put you on the spot, but this is like my first time kind of sharing that with a new coach. And I know when I learned that, and I've been a coach for so long, I'm like, dang it, I wish I would have known that, had all these kind of expectations and this kind of laid out for me at the beginning, because knowing what to expect and what I need to do before getting to the next stage is really like huge. So did you learn something like from there? Was I completely boring you?
No, I mean, I can most definitely relate to, this is a do while you're learning type of job, because that's kind of the industry that I'm in. What I'm, to be honest, what I'm having a hard time reconciling is, do I want to do this and focus on it and put like all of this effort? Because, for me, I feel like posting once a day, that's like a lot of work, right? Like I'm stuck in this position where I feel like I have a full-time job. I love the idea of Beachbody. I feel like it's a company that I can support. I like their product. I'm like all about it, where I feel like one day I want to do this full time. And I openly tell people about that. But I feel like it's like the ramp up period, or that momentum for me, is not as important as it could be one day. So like for me, it is okay for me to take my time learning. For me, it is okay for me to take my time like vetting you guys. Like, is this a partnership that I want to have? Are you, the people that I want to go in with, like all in? I feel like I'm still in that like vetting process. Well, or even though I am signed up as a coach, I'm not like all there ready to like do all that, because I feel like I really don't have a lot of value that I can bring to people right now because I'm simply not invested in this as much as I should.
Yeah.
And the reason is that I am like full on focused on my full-time job right now, which I love. I'm very successful with it right now, but I know that like in 4 years that's gonna come to an end for me here, and then I can focus on this. So for me, I am that type of person that feels like I need to be very knowledgeable on something before I can like fully go in. But once I'm in and I make that decision, I'm like, all right, I know what the metrics are in order to be successful when you're selling anything, right? So I totally understand the idea of having this like plan and the checklist of things. Like I love this. I had never seen this before. And I'm like, all right, this is a recipe for success. So
Mhm.
having a visual and hearing you out, and I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense. It kind of helps me reconcile those two aspects of my life a little bit
Yeah.
easier, you know?
Yeah,
So
and I know, Joss, you've shared all of that with me in full transparency. And I think that's really helpful for everyone else on the call. Like, I know where you're at with that. Like, I've known that from day one. And, but how you move forward is completely up to you. And I'm like, I think it's so cool that you're here to kind of continue as part of the vetting process. And then as far as like, sharing that first initial stage, how I guess was that helpful regardless of where you're at in the vetting stage?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it gets me a little bit closer to me feeling like I would be ready for that.
Okay.
Right. Like I'm like, all right, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it definitely.
Okay. And I know you mentioned something about, like your post taking so long. Maybe we should unfold the onion there a little bit, because I know sometimes I get stuck like, I don't know what to post, or like I cannot, like I cannot spend an hour putting a post up on social media like that. I just can't. So I guess maybe we can try to help you save some time there with putting up a post if you want to. I was gonna say we can probably, since we're here, maybe we can help you with that. Or we could talk a little bit about stage 2 or go on to some additional questions, or topics on the agenda, because I do want to be mindful of time. We only have 5 minutes left. But how would you like to, I guess, use up the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, like if you guys were me, right, in my situation, all right, this is brand new. Like I never even like openly told anybody that I am doing this. I'm like in the closet still, right? It's being vulnerable. It's being like putting yourself out there. I'm sure you guys know all about it. And in like every aspect of my life, I feel like I am kind of private, except when it comes to like my sports and things like that. But I feel like it's an identity that I've developed where I feel comfortable sharing that. Me going into this new venture, doing something new, like how would you recommend I go about that introduction? Openly, like, how would you?
I
Are
think
you
we have
talking?
some example posts that we can share with you too, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
are you talking about like an announcement?
like posting. Yeah, like a posting. Like, I mean, that's checklist. How would I go about going through that checklist? I mean, like, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, all right,
Yeah,
personal development, all for it. Work on Shake You. I got that.
yeah.
A post with purpose. I think that's going to be the most important piece of that checklist, because
Mhm.
we want to sell, we want to we want to make it known that like people can reach out or whatever. Like
Yeah.
how can I get out of that shell?
So tomorrow you'll actually see. So I was going to talk about like branding and posting tomorrow in this training. But what I will do is, I don't know if I can screen share when I'm recording, or I can even tag you in. There's a post that I put up in our Fit and Fearless page, in our team page on Facebook, that has like a social media strategy on there. It's one that Angie Bellamar, our top coach, put together, that she gives her new coaches. So of course, she's going to share that with her coaches. I'm going to share that with it's the same thing that she uses, but it's a simple formula for social media. So you're not posting about Beachbody all the time, but you're kind of weaving it in, and you're also kind of sharing other things. But showing up on social media, like I've noticed, I mean, you're not going to get the most traction on a workout post. You're not going to get the most traction on
Right.
a post that you're putting up about coaching. You're going to get the most, things that people relate to the most: family, you know, house remodels, vacations, those kinds of things. But showing up on social media reminds people that like you're there. So trying to post every single day, even if it's not a sweaty selfie. I've been really bad with that on Facebook. I will really be honest. And that's one of my goals this week is to like follow my social media strategy and like put things other than my workouts. So what I started doing, and Loree and I and our success partner calls on Sundays, we talk about our social media plan for the week. So I will set up like an hour, and it actually takes me less than that now, but it takes me 20 minutes to probably put together my social media plan for the week. And when I sit down to do my morning routine, I have my own checklist of things to look at for the day. What am I eating? What am I posting? What's my workout? What groups do I need to check in? And then it's just like boom, 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 boom. Like that's my schedule. So I kind of like front load, you know, the lifting stuff on the weekend for like a chunk of time. And then in the morning, I just quickly go and like, here's my plan for the day, and then try to execute. So like, I just have my own system that I do.
Yeah. The other thing I would suggest, so if you feel like, oh, I don't have enough value to add, because I for sure feel that way all the time. Jackie and I were actually talking about this yesterday. Like sometimes if you've been in, you know, your routine for so long, you kind of, at least for me, like I'm like, well, doesn't everyone get up in the morning and work out? Because I've been doing that for so long, right? But if it's kind of like if you zoom out and look at your, you know, habits and your systems, your routines, and like what it is that you're good at in your life, and kind of explain it or like share kind of how you got to that process, then it kind of helps. It can give value to people, and just like make it very like simple and basic, because a lot of things when it comes to health and fitness, once you've been in it for so long, you think that, well, everybody knows this, right? But that's not the case, right? There's so many people who are like beginners starting out, and like so many people really struggle with the snooze button, like just stuff like that that you might no longer struggle with. So if you can kind of like take yourself back to when you know, were first starting your routines kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's really good. Like, how can I just provide value to somebody today? Even if it's a recipe, just post a recipe. And like, I tried this from the Beachbody catalog. Like, this was damn good. Here's the recipe.
Yeah.
People love that. People love dog pictures. I know.
Any of
You're a
those.
dog mom. But as you know, if it's you want to educate, right? Like educate and entertain, or edutain. Is that the
Edutain, yeah.
edutain?
Yeah. Like even like the other day I did a post about how I have to heat up my coffee in the microwave 3 times every morning because I drink it so slow. And like so many people can relate to that, right? So it's like very simple things that like you probably wouldn't necessarily think of, but if it can, like Jackie said, edutain, like entertain someone or educate someone, then it's a valuable post.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stick to this training and step one, right? Like one step at a time.
Yeah.
Till we figure it out, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And none of us are perfect. I think all of us work full time. I don't think anyone has a recipe for like, here's how you do Beachbody and work full time. Like, I don't know, like who has the recipe for that? I constantly experiment, right? Like, and my schedule changes all the time. Like this morning I had a meeting at 8:30 and I had to log on at 8 and I literally just got off. So like sometimes my day just gets all screwed up, but like I do have my list of people that I'm going to invite today. I haven't gotten that to yet, so I am going to send out my invites after the call. I'm going to quickly just, you know, get a post up on social media, and then, you know, I do have to call it a night because I do have to honor my sleep. Like I'm also trying to like honor my sleep, and I don't want people to feel like they have to burn the midnight oil at their full-time job and here at the same time, because nobody wants to be burnt out. I don't want to have a burnt out team, but you know, if that's you and you want to like grind and you know, like just go whatever amount of momentum you want to apply is totally up to you. It's not
Can you please share with me a sample of that invite message that you're going to send out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I feel like we're always all looking for like different language to use in an invite. Because I know like when I send my script, it's usually just like a little copy paste and I just kind of tweak it for whoever I'm sending it to. Like if I've been talking to them already, I change it up, or if I don't, if I haven't really connected with them all that much, it's different. So I guess my point is just like, even when you just ask Jackie for like what she would say, I'm like, gosh, I wonder what Jackie would say. Like,
Mhm.
send me that too, Jackie. Cause I'm like, I always need more in ideas and ways to invite. So
Mhm.
you're not alone in even asking that question. That's why we all work together as a team.
Yep, for sure. I will send that. I'll post that in our training group and I will tag you guys.
Well, how lucky am I that I get to have, 4 people here training me and helping me out. Nobody I get to share this with. This is great. Personalized training.
I know.
All for
like,
showing up.
You are the most special person tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, so these meetings are going to take place every day for the next month, Monday through Friday, or when is it?
Just Monday. So only
Just
3
Mondays.
total.
Got
This is
it.
one of 3. Yeah.
Understand. Okay.
When I initially sent the invite yesterday, I was like hitting all the wrong buttons on Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, it was said
it was every day. So I was like,
did. I'm
okay.
like, oh my God, I have to fix it. So it wouldn't let me edit it. And I'm like,
Got it. Okay. So once a week on Monday for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's at 8 p.m. Eastern every time. Got it. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So we only have 2 more of these.
I'll try to be prepared for it. I didn't know what to expect on this, to be honest with you. So I'll be better prepared and I'll have like halfway of a brain left for the meeting. I promise.
Oh,
'Cause
you're
I'm like,
doing
my
great.
brain is like mush today. I'm like,
Yeah, no, you
I'm
did
done.
great.
I hear you. I am mushed out too.
And it's only Monday. So get some sleep. Thank you all for joining and coming for me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I guess I will end the recording and then I'll post that in the group for the others. And I'll get those invites posted.
Thanks,
Hi,
Jackie.
everybody.
All right,
Good
guys.
night.
Have a great
Bye.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye.